Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's video is a part of the Crafters Castle Challenge blog. I wanted to let you guys know there will be links down below to everything I'm telling you about. So just click the more section and you'll be able to read and see all the information there. With the challenge, it is open to everyone, whether you're in the US or international. And all skill levels. So whatever crafts you do, you can definitely join in on the fun, okay? So I wanted to share with you the paper that and everything that comes in this collection, but I wind up cutting everything up, getting ready for the video. So I'm gonna add in the actual photos of each of the items here. I wind up cutting this page twice. And then all the additional pages I just cut once. That's one of the benefits of it being a digital design. You can definitely print out multiple copies and, really make and create as your heart desires. So while you're looking at all of the elements, I do want to tell you that the prize every month for the challenge is sponsored by Tailor Made Cards for You, and that you can check out the Crafters Castle Challenge blog to see what the prize is for the month. Now, I know this month you would get the kit that we're using, which is the Passport to Italy. And there is a digital code, a discount code, I should say, for your 20% off your digital order. So definitely check out the more section for the links and check out the challenge blog, okay? So right now, what I'm doing is I am pretty much just scoring all of my A2 size cards. They are 4.25 by 5.5. And if you just get your 8.5 by 11 cardstock and cut it at 5.5, you get 2 card bases. Okay. I use 8.5 by 11 for all my card bases. So that way, whenever I make a card, I always try and make 2, because if I want to give one away to somebody else, I'll still have a backup if I want to give it away again. So for the base of the paper, or I should say my, what do you want to call it, my sketch, which I have in the upper right hand corner, I'm using some Desert Storm from Nina cardstock, and I'm just cutting it down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. These are like my go-to measurements, especially when I'm doing a mat and then a pattern paper on top. I like having an 1/8 of an inch border on most of the cards that I make. So the pattern paper, I did trim that down to 4 by 5 1/4. And like I said, that's going to give us a nice edge. But with the style of the paper collection, I was like, you know what? I'm going to ink this up, because I think the Distress ink adds a nice layer to the way that it looks. So with the wet glue, I did use that with some tape runner, and I do that because it gives me just a little bit of wiggle room. If you ever have a problem lining up your papers, getting them nice and straight, then I highly suggest that you do this combo. It'll give you enough time to be able to pull it apart and try again. So for each layer within the sketch itself, I am inking all of my edges. And then we're going to put this one strip on top. Now, how do I say this? That piece that I just put down is like the pink stripe piece that's on the sketch that's up on the right hand corner. And then I'm using a piece of glitter paper that's going to go right down the side. So now I want to say, let me see here. Okay, so we're going on to the next one. I'm getting all of them set up to be able to receive the focal image, which I'm going to do with you in a little bit. A lot of times I'll look at sketches and I'll try and figure out, okay, so is this going to be one where it's all pattern paper and then I just add on a sentiment? Or is this going to be one where, I add a focal image or an image of some sort that's either stamped or colored with, markers, color pencil, whatever the medium is I want to do. And so for me, a lot of times what I'll do when I'm doing multiple cards is I try to do the same steps or similar steps at the same time. So that way when I'm ready, I can do finish at the same time, basically. So we're going to keep going. And then I think I stop here. Yep. I went and finished the rest off camera because how many times can you watch me tape and put together a card, right? Exactly. So for the focal image, I'm using Strawberry Bourbon. I think it said bourbon. This is from Nuvo. And with these markers, you basically like pounce them to get the ink to come down. And it's glittery. It's very glittery, but it was so much fun using. I don't use these particular markers very often, but I just thought the pink was really a nice soft color, and it goes well with some of the pink in the pattern paper underneath. It doesn't stand out or like, yeah, you know, like it does. I guess the best way is just to say that it goes well. It blends well, and it's a nice accent for on top of the card. So I'm just coloring all in the flowers. And then I have 2 of the alcohol markers from Nuvo as well. One is, I want to say, a green, and the other is a dark brown. So we're going to take the green and just color in all of our leaves. And I'm not trying to do anything extra special with a whole bunch of layers and stuff like that. Like literally, I wanted the flowers to just sparkle and be pretty and sit on top, you know, like kind of stand out. So the leaf and the insides are just colored to complete and finish out the card, really, not to create any added dimension and doing all this extra. You can, if you want to, you know, use a dark and then a medium and a light and worry about that. But for me, I just really wanted that sparkle of the flowers to be what stood out. And then I'm just going to attach that. And then instead of putting a little, where that little white square is on the right hand side, I didn't want anything to cover up what we just colored in. So I'm just putting a strip of foam underneath my sentiment. And then I'm going to attach that underneath the image. And there is the card. Now, the best part about this collection, I felt, was that there was enough to where I could do a sketch, just like you see here, but I could also create cards with the ephemera pieces, which was a lot of fun as well. And I just cut the pieces out and layered them on top of the cards to create something similar but a little bit different. My stripe with that one is a little bit wider. I made it 2 inches, and you'll see more in the close-ups. It's 2 inches, and yeah, I just took the ephemera pieces and layered them. So that's the 4 with the ephemera pieces right there. And I used even the sentiments that were within the like cut aparts on the collection itself. So you have ciao, you have prego, you have I think it's grazie. I'm gonna look here. We're gonna pull it up. I think it's gonna have a close up here, but this one is the ciao. Ciao is probably my favorite because I took the ones that were like the tags and just layered them and put them straight down on the image, and it was perfect. And what I did was I laid the one tag down flat, and the other one I put some foam tape under. So you can create levels and dimension just by using foam tape, and you know, or choosing not to. So thank you guys again for joining us with our hop today. Come join in on the challenge. Definitely check out the more section down below because the links to the other design team members are all going to be listed there. And have some fun. Come join us. This collection was really pretty and really fun to use. So thank again, you guys, for joining me, and I will see you with our next video.